Hey everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you are new. Today we're going to be doing an extracting video, 2023 edition. I think I did I have probably like 3 extracting videos out now, maybe only 2, I'm not sure. But it has been a minute, that is for sure. I haven't posted a video in over a month, and we're trying to figure out if we can still do this or not. So it was a little tricky getting the mic on, but we got there. We've just been crazy busy and we haven't been able to keep up ourselves, and so it's been hard to be able to fit videos into that. But I apologize for that. I actually filmed a video, like just kind of saying what's been going on, and it just never got posted. So anyways, we're going to film an extracting video. I don't know if it's really that much updated from the last couple of years, like last year, but we're still going to do it just because we have a lot of new subscribers, so that's been really cool. But let's go ahead and just kind of go through what's going on around here. So we've just got a couple different setups. We usually have 2 people uncapping because we have yet to get like an actual uncapper. We're doing it ourselves, which is what we've always done, and it seems to be okay. So in my first ever extracting video, we were using a bucket and just a bread knife. Now we've gotten a little upgraded, and we've been spoiled kind of by Pierce Beekeeping equipment. They have been amazing the last few years, and we really enjoy their products. And so this is from Pierce. I've made a video on it before, like I made a whole video. I'll put it in the corner, I think it's this corner. If you want to check out the video, like full in-depth version and everything about this uncapping tank. I enjoy it a lot. I think Cayman has already done a review on it. A lot of people seem to like it. And they just have really good products, honestly, and they're willing to adjust anything. So I have a full video on that. Basically, it's just an awesome tank, and it's got this, so this is where the honey goes, and then it goes through this super nice filter, and then this is the top box basically. And so there's I'm going to go ahead and put these gloves on so I can kind of show you. I wanted to just kind of show what we're doing with the wax once it's been uncapped or taken off. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a rough video just because it's been a minute, so I apologize for that. But honestly, it reminds me of a queen excluder at the bottom of this. So it's just pretty big holes right there, so that way the big chunks get caught by it right here, and then they go through this filter right there. And so we've been extracting a lot tonight, and so all this stuff right here is brand new wax. So we'll just kind of smush it up like this and then spread it out and let that drain for usually a couple days or so, and then it'll end up looking like this, which is pretty dry for the most part. Like that looks like it's pretty dry, you're good to go. But there's actually a lot of honey still in there that you can get out of this. And so I made a video on this also, but I'm going to mention again, making these patties has really changed how much honey we get, honestly. Like, you don't think it's that big of a deal, but once you do it, you actually will notice a difference. And it's basically just taking that wax that's been sitting for a little while and just packing it down pretty tight. Usually make them a little bit bigger, but just like that. And then we set them up like this, just like hamburger patties, in a little line, and just let them drain for another little while, a couple days usually, just because we don't end up getting to it. And it gets a lot more honey out for us. So that was a trick we learned from Mike Berry, and he seems to like it too. And so if you want to check out his channel, you definitely should. He's got some really cool videos. And so let's go ahead and talk about this knife right here. It's been sitting for a little bit, so there's some boiled honey right there, but it's okay. It is on also because we're about to uncap some honey, and we just did that. So anyways, this is the Pierce uncapping knife, or hot knife basically, and we've used this the last couple of years. We really like it. It seems to work well. I don't know if it's just because we used a bread knife before or what, but it works well. It goes quick, and it doesn't seem to, it gets pretty hot, but you can turn it down. So the first one that we ever got from Pierce was just one that you plugged in, and it still does its job, and it's really good. But this new one that we have, we've got 2 of them now, it actually has a controller right here, and so it's kind of got like a zone of where you want to go. You can turn it up more if you want to, but we usually leave it around 5 or 6 in between there. So that's a little bit of a newer thing, I guess. So we like that a lot. But these are just really great, and I really recommend trying it out. So I'll leave the link in the description, and you can use code Natalie, I believe, for a discount. And I just want to say thank you too for all the people that have been using that link and have been trying out these products, because people seem to like it a lot, and it's helping out a lot of people when you click that link and buy something from them. So just thank you. And then, so that's kind of what we've got going on. This is one of my favorite spots to do it. I wanted to just do a quick, this is what we got over here. So this is also an uncapping tank. This is from Man Lake, I believe. And we use this too. If you want to come closer, Mom, you can see in here, these are like the new cappings that we've got right here. I just did this, and then we're doing the patty thing there too. So this has just got like a huge filter right here. And then there's a little opening at the end over there on the other side. It's actually on the very bottom of it. So for this one, it's right here, but on that one, it's at the end of it, which is good, but sometimes it's tricky to get a bucket under there. But that one's pretty good. We do like that one, but honestly, the Pierce one is just my personal favorite. But if you like the one that stands up, maybe try that one out. But we just have this set on a little table here, and then we've got our Dadant 20 frame extractor still. We did get an upgrade a while ago, a few years ago. We had a little hand crank, and we upgraded to this, which was really nice then, and it still is really nice, but definitely hoping to upgrade in the next couple of years. I think we talked about upgrading this year, and it just never happened, which is fine, but I don't want to be the one extracting all the time, because it works and it's great, but when you have so much honey like we have this year, it just takes a little bit longer. So it's a 20 frame extractor, but we get, 20 frame extractor, but we get 36 frames in it, because I don't know if you want to like show in here. So there's the little slots for where the frames go. So right here, but in between it, you can actually fit another frame. So I've already got some going. So that's exactly what we have here. The ones that sit just barely a little bit taller are the ones that are in between, but it works perfectly fine. And we haven't noticed them spinning differently or not getting as much honey out of them. We get the same amount no matter how many frames we've got in there. There's been a couple times where we have fit like, probably not 40, but like 38 or something like that, because we're just pushing. But no, I would recommend just doing 36. And then down here is where the spout is, and it's just a twist. And we've got our filter here, which we still have. I believe this is from Amazon, actually. I'm not sure, but I believe it is. And so this is actually like a two-piece. So you've got this top filter. I don't know if I can pull it out or not. And then you've got another one down in here, and so it filters through both of these. And it just, you can see we've been using it today, so there's a couple bees in there that are basically dead, and some body parts. But we can see we still got some honey coming out of here because we just extracted. And that just goes into a 5-gallon bucket. Right now, that's where we're storing our honey. We haven't moved to like barrels or anything like that. So that's basically the setup that we've got going on. We also use these little knives or forks or whatever. These are okay. I would like prefer not to use these, but there's going to be frames where you're going to have to use it. And so we use these. These are, I think we just got these off of Amazon. There's one that we have, I don't know where it went. It was like the very, very beginning, and we still have it, and it's my favorite. But haven't been able to find that one. But these still work pretty good. So if you want to just check these out on Amazon, you totally can. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of the setup we've got going on, so I figured I would go ahead and show you how we use the Pierce uncapping tank along with the knife. And so let's go ahead and pull a frame out here. I tried to pick one that would have some pretty thick frames. There's just, after you use the knife a lot, you're going to find little things that kind of are annoying. But it usually has to do with the frames. So I'm just going to use this one anyways. I was going to not, just because it's got these little tabs right here of wax, and the knife gets caught on those sometimes and it drives me nuts. But anyway, so this is a really nice solid frame of honey. This season has been alright. We've just been busy, so I honestly think we may have missed a little bit of honey, but not too much, so it's still been good. But let's go ahead and use this. So I just hold it with one hand, and then use the other one to pull it down. And then there's also a little screw right here that you can set the frame on. which I actually really like because then you can spin it around super easily. If you don't like that, you can always set it down on this wooden part right here. And this wooden piece moves also up and down depending on where you want to put it. And then I'm going to step over here because I cannot use my left hand to do this. I've also been doing this for a little while now, so my hand kind of hurts. But usually, I'm going to show you the proper way, or how a lot of people use this. They cut like a little tab right here, pull that off, and then just like give it a little bit like you're cutting something, and just put that pressure down. You don't want to just go down because then it'll actually like rip the wax off of it and it just doesn't do its job really. So you have to move it around a little bit. Now I've gotten to the point where we just kind of go as fast as we can because it gets tiring. But sometimes I'll just go down. I don't cut the tab or anything, and but you can cut it if you want to. My dad's so good at he can probably do it just like that in that same speed, and I don't know how he does it, but it works too. So after a while you'll kind of figure it out. I haven't done a whole lot of extracting this year, so still kind of getting used to it, but you can see it just cuts it so perfectly and so clean, and it gets such a nice sheet of wax off. You can see these are just really nice pieces, and so it's just like that, you're done. Now sometimes, like I could have gotten that with the knife, but I didn't. So because we're super picky about getting all the cappings, just take the fork a little bit and pull that off. I wanted to talk about how I pull the cappings off with the fork. Just a little bit if you're deciding to use that fork instead of buying one of these. So there will be some frames that you'll find that are like, they're not thick enough where you can use the knife, which is the most annoying thing ever, but that is just what the bees decided to do that year. So I was going to use this frame because it looked like it wasn't super thick, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it out. Let's see. Okay, so I think I could probably honestly use the knife on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and show you like how I would do it with the fork. Usually you'll see people do it like this and just scrape it down, and you can do that, but for us personally, we like to go ahead and go under the cappings and then pull it up just like that. And it is a little bit more time consuming than just scraping it, but you're able to get most of that capping off, which means your filter isn't going to be as clogged when it's draining out of the extractor, which may not seem like a big deal, but in the moment it is, because you're getting all this honey built up in the extractor and you want to get it out as soon as possible, but your filter's clogged up, so you have to scoop it out. So just one thing, if you're using the fork, I usually just pull all of those cappings off, and it seems to work really well actually. And so that way it's going into here. You're gonna have to deal with the cappings at some point. Better to do it now than later. But I think, oh, there's a really loud bug. I don't know if you can hear that. I think I could get this with the knife. So even if the whole frame isn't capped, you can still use a knife on it. Like, let's see if I can pull this out. You can see that piece wasn't capped, but it still pulls it off, and it does a good job. There's a little piece that I forgot right here. Just take that off. And then, of course, pieces like this that there's like no honey on it, you just kind of got to scrape those off. So then we move it into the extractor. See if I can get all these. All those little pieces I still try to get. So then I just put it in the extractor, and that's pretty much it. We just line them all up. You can just spin it just like that, and that's really it. And then over here, the lid comes down, and I'll kind of show you what the extractor looks like on the side here. So there's a little knob right here that you can flick to turn it on, right here. And then, oh, let's see if I can pull this off real quick. And then this is where you control the speed. So you just twist that. It's a little hot right now just because we just used it, but that's how we turn it on and use it for speeding it up and everything. Now the reason why it can just be kind of annoying is it'll shake really bad. so it'll just start shaking because it's uneven, which is annoying, especially if I'm in here, because I cannot hold that down. And so we gotta have usually my dad in here to be able to like hold it down. So that's a little bit annoying. I don't know exactly what's going on. My dad was trying to explain it to me tonight, but something up here isn't like tight enough, and so it's not getting to the full speed that it's supposed to. So it's ready to be retired, I honestly think, but we'll get a couple years out of it probably. And then we also, I wasn't gonna mention it, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. We've got a custom stand that we got made, I think it was in Nebraska, honestly. And it's really nice. We like it a lot, so I don't really have any recommendation on where you can get it, but it's great. It works well, and it just sits right there, and you can actually nail it down into the ground if you want to, but we haven't done that just because I think we did it on pallets one year, but we haven't done it this year because the last few years we've been putting like 10 pallets just so it's at this height, and so now we just have a nice stand. But I would talk about that. That's really the only upgrade that we've gotten this year, and I think that's honestly all there is to it. These are one of my most popular videos, is talking about extracting, and it's one of my favorite videos to watch too. But when you're the person doing the extracting, it's really not that big of a deal, but they are fun to watch. So anyways, that's pretty much it. And I talked about the Pierce and all of that. So far, the only thing from Pierce I have yet to get is the Master Grafter, but it's on the list to get next because I've tried it from a lot of people and I really like it. So just saying, there isn't a product from Pierce that I have received that I don't like. This isn't even a promotion video for them or anything. I just really like their products, and so I want to talk about it. I think that's really it. So if you have any questions, leave it down below. And if you have any suggestions, go ahead and do that too. So thanks for watching today's video. Follow along for more bee adventures, and be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.